You brought up the word control. Control what you can control. We talked a lot about that to our guys. Hey, what can we control?
Welcome back to the MAC podcast, where we talk about everything about leadership, business, real estate, and entrepreneurship, where we always challenge conventional thinking. Guys, if you're tired of just doing the same old, and you want to break free and unfollow the herd, then you are in the right podcast. And I'm super ecstatic about our guest today, and because we're going to learn a ton about leadership and some resilience through coaching. So, guys, he's entering his 10th season as the UND football coach. He also was an assistant, which I did know, from 1989 all the way to 2003 with that football program. He's a true leader of our football organization and throughout our entire community, and why he was able to join me today. I love that he loves to have fun. I'm excited to have him. Bubba Schweigert, thank you for being on, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, no, we're going to go wherever we want to go in this. And so that's the whole point here, but we're going to talk some football, but I want to, it's off season right now. We don't want to talk football the whole time. And what are you guys doing right now?
Well, first of all, Mark, you know what we do at UND football? We never say we're in the off season.
Oh.
All right. So our players know that. If they ever say, hey, coach, it's off season, I say, well, no, really, we have the regular season, then we have the winter season, which is training, then we have the spring season, and then the summer season. Now, do we take time off? Yes, but we're always in some type of season. And it's just one of my things that I try to get the guys in a frame of mind that you're never really totally off when you're doing this college football thing. But we have a lot of fun with it, too.
I just had Josh Navratil on, and he's mowing lawns. I'm like, well, working out and trying to get the right, his right diet figured out and training people at the gym. Man, he's not on off season. I say, you're busy.
Yeah. What a great young person to have in our program. And I think we have a lot of those great young people in our program. And we always talk about it as a staff, as you're building a football program. You win games with good players, but you win championships with really good people. Oh. And he's one of those guys, he's just got a vision of what he wants to be. Mm-hmm. Wants to be a leader. He's really great in the weight room. He's improved so much since he got here. He was one of those guys that really had about one Division I offer. Mm. And we felt like we saw something in him that other people weren't seeing in him, and just an awesome person to have in our program, and just keeps getting better and better each and every year. And hard to believe he's in his last year of competition. With the COVID year, there might be a possibility of going on, but some of these guys get to a point, in their education and want to get out and get started with the rest of their life.
Yeah, no, he inspired me. I was like, man, a young kid, obviously, hit the COVID year, which I'm sure was, he didn't play, he said, for so long that you lose on what you know. And I'm sure during COVID, it was interesting to be a head coach and even be a player.
Yeah, just to keep the guys interested. We had trained that summer. Well, first of all, going back to the spring, we just ended spring ball. We're done, guys. You're heading home. And then we get them back in the summertime, and then to share the news with them that we weren't going to have a fall season, that was really tough. The guys put so much time and effort into preparing for the season that it was devastating. And then, our commissioner asked our programs and administration, hey, poll your guys, see if they want to play in the spring. And our guys wanted to play.
Dang.
Just wanted to play. They just want to play football. And we knew there were going to be some challenges to that spring season and then having another season shortly after that. Mm-hmm. But let's let the guys play. They prepare so hard for games. And that spring we had a lot of fun. And Josh was really having a great spring that year. Oh. That was kind of his breakout season.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. No, he's a great kid. How did you, as a leader going into COVID, something like that, we were pretty like resilient in our construction company. We tried to like muscle through it. Obviously, you can't do that within the football program. You're controlled by outside things. Like, what do you tell these kids?
You brought up the word control. Control what you can control. We talked a lot about that to our guys. Hey, what can we control? We're going to have parameters, how we got to go about this. We had testing. We had wearing masks at practice. We had coaches wearing masks, and I really like to coach without sunglasses, without a mask, because I want guys to be able to see my face, so they can read body language. And so there were a lot of different challenges throughout that time, but really just to have them get in that frame of mind. We're going to control what we can control. I really felt for some of our guys with the quarantine. We had one young man that quarantined 3 different times for 14 days.
Oh my gosh.
And he's still here with us. I'm just so proud of him, how that was his first year, and his first exposure to UND football really was through the COVID summer, and just he hung in there and fought through it and really stayed focused. And so that was really the message, and we somehow got through it, and we don't want to go through it again. But I think we learned some things overall as a football program, that we can really take on challenges that are outside of our control, and we can mature from it and get better from it.
Yeah, well, but it's if you can get your players resilient through that, I think there's about anything now. It's like, because these guys are working hard. Like, they were telling me their 6 a.m. workout routines and things that they have to do. These guys work.
Yeah, Mark, I changed my line years ago when I was fortunate enough to be named the head coach here. I remember I was using the phrase to the guys, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. But now I talk to them about it's simple, but not easy. The plan is simple, how you get better and what you need to do. It really is. To be disciplined and to get to those 6 a.m. workouts and be early and really prepare and get yourself in the right frame of mind. And then you got practices, you have school, you have personal relationships that you're dealing with. So, but you make a lot of sacrifices, and it's simple. You know what you have to do, but it's not easy. So I don't use that. It's not that hard. I tell them it's not easy, guys. You chose to do this.
Yep.
You chose to be here. We chose to have you here. Let's make it work. Let's stick to a plan and keep getting better and get this program growing, which we want it to grow, and we believe we can win an FCS championship here in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and at the University of North Dakota.
Yeah, let's go. Jeez. That was good. How did you lead yourself all into coaching? How do you what's the story? Where'd you grow up, and why did you decide coaching is it?
Yeah, I grew up in small town North Dakota, Zeeland, North Dakota, about 300 people.
Oh.
We had 80 in our top 4 grades in high school, 17 in my class. I was from a family of 6 boys, no girls, and sports was a big part of our family. In small town. We didn't have a pool, so obviously we weren't good at swimming, but it was a big baseball town.
Okay.
And we played a lot of baseball, and we had a tradition of winning baseball teams from amateur to Babe Ruth.
Oh, wow.
And we played that for a long time. And then we started a football program in Zeeland. Bill Bonesack, he's still coaching track out at Mayville, Portland.
Yeah.
Retired teacher. He got the football program going in the early 70s, and it just really was a sport that our community really was drawn to.
Wow.
And by 1974, we were playing for conference championships in a good 9-man conference. And then Leo Updahl, my high school coach, by the way, just played with him in a golf scramble this week, which was awesome to get back with him and spend an afternoon playing golf. But he took our program to another level, and we won state championships in 77 and 78 and 9-man in North Dakota. And just awesome experience. But a big sports town. It was a big deal. A lot of things in those small towns just revolve around the school and the activities.
Mm-hmm.
So did that, but our family was involved in music and sports, and in those small towns, we wouldn't have had anything if we wouldn't have had a lot of people involved in a lot of things. So
Right.
no specialization in Zeeland. We went from football to basketball and wrestling to
Oh, wow.
baseball.
Well, you needed everybody.
Yeah. We had one year, we had 35 boys in high school, and I believe 31 were out for football.
Wow.
So it was a big deal to be part of those things. And then I went on to Jamestown College and had a really good college experience. I played football and baseball there. And my college football coach was the one that convinced me to get into coaching. He just grabbed me my last year and said, "What do you think you're going to do?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to be an accountant." He goes, "You ever think about coaching?" And I said, "Yeah, I have." And he said, "You really want to be an accountant?" And I said, "Well, I just took it and got through it, and I haven't thought much about being an accountant." And he said, "I think you should coach." And he gave me an opportunity to coach at Jamestown.
Oh, really?
And that's how this thing took off.
So what were you coaching?
Coaching football. My 5th year, I was a student coach because I came back because I knew I wanted to coach and teach then. So I had to come back and student teach. So I student taught at Jamestown High School, but
Okay.
helped coach the college team. And then after I graduated, there was an admissions opening at Jamestown.
Wow.
It's the University of Jamestown now. So I was on the admissions staff and coached football and baseball there for 4 years. And then
Wow.
Rob Bollinger, former offensive coordinator here,
Yeah.
contacted me and got me involved up here. I interviewed to be a graduate coach with Roger Thomas, and that really changed my thinking about coaching college football. I know I loved it at Jamestown, but here it took it to another level because I spent a lot of time learning and coaching, because that's all I did was go to grad classes and break down film and
Oh, really?
try to be a sponge and learn from all these great guys I was around: Dale Lennon, Rob Bollinger, Jeff Tesh, Roger Thomas, several others on those staffs.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in that graduate year, and then was fortunate to stay on as an assistant and just kept learning all
Was that
those years.
1989 about where you just
Yeah.
stayed on for a long time?
Yeah, I was here for 15 years as an assistant, and it was really tough to leave because I love this place. I really do.
Yeah.
But was fortunate enough to get the head coaching job at Minnesota Duluth. But I tell this story over and over. A grown man driving down Highway 2 crying. I didn't want to leave, but I just knew if I ever wanted to be in this chair, I had to go out and get some head coaching experience.
Mhm.
And loved Duluth. They were very good to me. They were those people, and good place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And was there a short time, and then went on to Southern Illinois. Dale Lennon called me on Christmas Eve during the day, and I thought, oh, Coach Lennon's going to call me and say Merry Christmas. He said, "Bub, I'm going to take the Southern Illinois job. You want to come down and be the defensive coordinator?" And I had about 2 days to think about it. And really a good experience. And working for, I probably have never taken it, but working for a guy like Dale Lennon is really special.
Yeah.
He's such a good person and knows how to treat people and treats his players very well and motivates them and gets a lot out of his team. So joined him down there for 6 years, and then was fortunate enough to get this opportunity as the head coach at the University of North Dakota.
Jace, that's an awesome story. So in the coaching world, like were you pushing to go up to the next level? Like, were you applying, or like, I don't know how that works in the coaching world,
Yeah.
or do you just get cited from?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it's like everything. You develop ties,
Okay.
professional ties, going to conventions and going for professional development. I never wanted my coaching resume to look like some other people's resumes, and it's all good. You can do it how you want to do it, but I never wanted to be one of these guys, 2 years here, 2 years there. I wanted to develop relationships and really get to know people. And truthfully, I thought I'd be at Duluth a lot longer than we were. Laura and she convinced me we need to remodel this house. And we have a really nice kitchen and we didn't get to use it very much because we were gone about less than a year later.
Oh wow!
But if, like I said, if it wouldn't have been a guy I knew and really respected like Dale Lennon, I don't know if I would have taken off and left that job at Duluth. But I wasn't a guy that really wanted to move, and I just small town guy.
Yeah.
When I'm at a spot, you can get comfortable, and I like some things comfortable, yet I know to grow in a profession, you got to get uncomfortable. But and some guys, I look at some resumes, and they've made it to the highest level of coaching, but I'm not really envious of them, because I think coaching is coaching. As long as you're able to mentor young people and have a positive effect on their lives, I think it's really worth it. And I've seen a lot of guys do that. My college football coach was one of them, 37 years at one place. And
wow.
I've seen other guys stay at one place a long time, and there's something special about that. Now, I think I had to move and leave UND to get this opportunity, and I really like this FCS level. I think there's a chance to have a good balance yet in your life, and but other people that go to FBS level, that's great for them. And, I probably didn't have that opportunity, and if I would have had that opportunity, I'd have had a decision to make, and it's all good. It's all good as long as you really keep it in perspective. And it is about winning. We want to win games and championships, but you also want to do a good job of leading people and having a positive impact on their life.
Yeah. Is that what you love about coaching?
I do. I think that's what really has kept me in it this long, because it's simple but not easy. You make a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
The hard part is your family makes a lot of sacrifices. And one of the hard things about coaching, like during the season, we spend more time with other people's kids than we do with our own. And that's why I like to be thoughtful about our coaching schedule. And, hey, guys, let's get our work done and see if we can get out of here. There's so many long-hour guys, and there are some times long hours are really necessary if you want to do well. But I think you got to keep constantly looking for ways to be efficient. Let's just not say we're working long hours to work long hours. Let's make sure we're being productive.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's the best mentality you can have. I think you said it a few times now, by keeping it simple. I mean, what you're doing, like you said, it's hard, but it's not sophisticated. It's just mentally. Like what they can all do it physically. These are these are players, right? Athletes. But the mental game is probably what battles most of them. I don't know.
Yeah. The mental game, sticking with it. There's going to be some failure involved.
Right.
There's going to be some days you don't maybe feel like the working out. You don't feel like practicing, but you try to tell them at the end of it. I don't think anybody ever regrets this. And whether you're in football or whatever, does anybody regret ever going in and getting an exercise or a good workout? When you're done, it just feels right.
Yeah.
And same thing goes for practice. We tell our guys, hey, this is your opportunity. You're playing a game that you love, that a lot of people don't get this opportunity because, there's about 4% of the high school players go on to play college football.
Wow.
It just isn't a high percentage, and you get to do this. You get to do it, and you got to approach it that way. And I know you probably aren't up to it some days, but let's find a way to have some energy, some excitement, because after you're done with it, you're going to say, that was really good.
Yeah.
This was a fun part of my day.
Yeah. I loved how you said that, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go work out. You don't have, but we get to.
Yeah.
And I don't get to. I didn't have a chance to play D1 football. I'd have been, it's like, but these players that do, you gotta appreciate what you can take. And there's other things that I'm good at that, I get to do it every day. So I love doing it.
Right.
So you see, like in, I don't know, I just see like these high school coaching programs and growing up. Now you got like parents getting into the battles of these things. And how do you, it's probably less at the college level that you're at now. But what are some of those challenges? You got outside noise that constantly, whether it's media, now you have media instead of parents, that are out to get you on your every little move, right? How do you face some of them challenges? How do you block it out?
Yeah. And social media is, really hard. It's probably harder on the families and the coaches.
Okay.
I'll be honest, try to really encourage family members, just don't even go on, and because people are going to be critical. The good thing about sports is people care. The bad thing about sports is people care about the results. And you aren't always in full control of the results. Yet I try to balance. If people are critical, hey, take a look at it. Maybe they're making a good point, but you can't get tied up in it. You really got to be confident in the plan that you put together. You got to be confident in how you go about your day-to-day work. Because, the one thing that comes down to, obviously, in coaching, and, I think it has really entered into it because parents are really involved like they've never been involved with travel teams and investing a lot of dollars in trying to get their kids an opportunity after high school. And that's all good if it gets kept in the proper perspective. Just like if I ever, get a concern from a parent, I go, hey, I'm willing to talk to you about the welfare of your child at any time because we made a deal with you. We're going to take care of them. We're going to teach him to be responsible and hold him accountable to do his job to the best of his ability. But we also want him to be safe. And we're going to do that. Now, when it comes to playing time, I go, we make those decisions because we evaluate everything. I mean, we record drills in practice.
Oh, wow.
We record one-on-one. We record small group stuff. We record the 11-on-11 stuff, and we're constantly evaluating it. That's why football takes so many hours, football coaching. You watch so much video, and you're constantly evaluating. And then I try to explain to them, in the end, our job is to put the best product on the field to win football games. That is really a big part of our job. That's why we get hired to do this. As long as we're not paying attention to outside noise that doesn't do that, we're doing a very good job because there's so many influences. Yet I try to pay attention to some critics. Hey, maybe they got something here.
Oh, okay.
You try to have some thick skin and listen to it. But when it comes sometimes, and I'm a parent, and we just got to understand parents are biased. You want what's best for your son or daughter, and that's awesome. And we want our parents to support their son and daughter, and we want to love them and hug them when it's tough, because it's tough at times.
Yep.
And we want to do the same thing. But in the end, we say, you know what? We really do all the evaluating, and we're going to put the best people out there to try to win football games. And you know what? If you could tell your son this when it comes to our program, do your best so you're ready for your opportunity, because we talk about that all the time. You got to stay positive, because when that opportunity comes, if you aren't positive and ready, you missed an opportunity. So that's how we handle it. And I know it's hard, though, because people really care about the results of sports and want what's best for their kid. Yeah.
Well, you got, like I said, you probably even now have media and social medias can be harmful. It's good that it's probably good that you listen to some of the bad and it's like, okay, here's what they're saying. And here's what we can do about it. We made the right decisions. I'm sure as coaches, it's just got to be hard. It's a mindset thing. I always kind of think, and I just want to know this as a coach's perspective, and I'm going to switch gears on a little bit here, but these kickers, right? You talk about outcomes and it all rides on their foot, and they could be point blank or 60 yards out, whatever it is. Obviously, the closer, the more pressure that gets on them to make a field goal kick to win the game. What are some of these kickers taught? Like, because it's such a mindset game. These guys physically can kick the ball from 60 yards, right? They can. It's just
mindset. You said it. Mindset. And our special teams coach, Sean Kostic, does a great job. He coaches those kickers and punters and specialists. Those guys are very well coached and really challenged to be great at their job. And it's really like, let's talk about the field goal. It's really a 1.3 second operation time.
Okay.
1.2, 1.3, let's call it that.
Okay.
So snap, hold, kick. And no matter what the situation, if you can get your guys to focus on that process, which they've done over and over and over, and just do that, you're going to get really good results. If you start thinking about other things, that's when it can go stray a little bit. It's no different than a golfer.
Yeah.
It's very similar. I love it. I love it when our guys go out and golf. I think it can really teach them mental discipline and keep them calm. And, our offensive line coach has a great saying. He goes, there's the difference between pressure and stress. Stress is when you're not prepared. Pressure is a big time moment that you're prepared for and can be great.
That's awesome.
There's no different with the specialists. There really shouldn't be pressure or a stress, but there's some pressure, and just focus on the 1.3 seconds and do your job. And we live with it then. Just do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, right. I always think what happens if you lose the kicker? Lose his mindset. He's missed 3 in a row. You're on the 3-yard line. You're down by 2. We got to make it. We got to do a field goal. What do you tell him? How do you position his mindset? Is someone working him with him?
Yeah. So I have a little perspective of that because I kicked in college.
Okay. Oh, here we go. I didn't know that.
I also I played defensive back, but also was a kicker. And, but I was old fashioned, straight toe shoe, straight on kicker, so one of those old fashioned guys. But it gives me a perspective what the kicker's going through a bit. Now for me, I think it was a little bit easier because I was also playing another position and I didn't have all that time just to sit and wait. And one thing I think that's, particularly hard on a kicker is like when you score on defense and he's got to go out and kick the extra point. There's no time to prepare. Yet sometimes that's the best thing for them. They just go out and do their job. There's no build up. But we try to, you try not to talk to them any differently no matter what the situation is in the game than you do early in the game, late in the game. Just do your job.
Yeah.
Go out there and do it. We got confidence in you. We do talk to them before the game. We really know about the range. They feel comfortable.
Okay.
Going into the wind with the wind. At the Alerus Center, much easier. No wind.
Right.
So we pretty much know their range going into the game. We'll talk to them about, like, if we're going to run the ball to get one, to run the clock down. Hey, which hash do you like it on?
Oh, yeah.
We chart this throughout the year for them. So they might like it on the right hash more than the left.
Okay.
All those things help the guy.
Yeah.
So you try to help them, and it's all about preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation, and, sometimes you can't control that. It ended up on the wrong hash. Then you just go do your thing.
Yeah.
In the college game, kicking is harder than any other game. In the NFL, their goalposts are the same width as college, yet their hashes are tighter. So they don't deal with as tough an angle.
Okay.
In college, the hashes are wider. High school, they're wider, but the goalposts are also wider. So in the college game, it's difficult because they have the tougher angles.
Yeah. Well, I mindset without a doubt. I think I like how you resorted to golf because that's what it is. You could see a golf guy break down on the on a hole or whatever, and all these golfers, I just would think the kickers have like mindset coaches. It's like, but a lot of times they'll sit on the sidelines by themselves, or they'll probably for a reason to keep their mindset kind of focused on what they're doing. I don't really know, but I just know they got to be challenged.
Our specialists have really created a great bond, and I think Sean does a good job of creating that by having them do a lot of film watching together, doing, so it's the snapper, holder, kickers, punters.
Yeah.
And they have their group. They have position meetings like every other position group, and we don't treat them any differently. They condition like everybody else. They're in the weight room like everybody else. Their workouts might be a little bit differently tailored to their skills that they're developing. But you got to have them really into their job and knowing how important they are to the team. And our kickers gain a lot of respect because our team sees them working hard and doing the agility drills and doing all that. And it's great for them.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, and they shouldn't be treated any different. They need to make tackles too for some reason.
They sure do.
hopefully not, but
right.
But they are the last chance out there. How about some of these new players you get in? Because you constantly, you're losing players. Players have been with the team for a while, or they move on, or they go to the NFL, into the draft, whatever it is. You got these new younger players coming in, and I don't know that they all come in with egos. I don't know what that's like, but you're constantly, infiltrated with these new players. And how do you know what I mean? What's their impression? They got a first impression with you, of course, when they enter. How do you approach that? And if you see something in them or you don't.
Yeah, I think, so it begins in the recruiting process.
Okay.
Obviously you're recruiting guys that are the best players on their high school teams. Mm-hmm. And I think you got to start coaching them then. Hey, once again, it's simple but not easy. We see a lot of potential in you, a bright future. We talk to those young people about coming in here and competing for playing time. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about giving them a starting job, things like that. Now, obviously, they can see our depth chart and see more opportunity at some time in the program. But we have 28 new guys coming in this summer.
Wow.
We had some transfers join us in the spring, and that's a little different dynamic than these first-year guys. But, they report. We had a couple start with us right away, the guys that were real local, start working out with the guys. And cool. I think just integrating them into the program and getting them around the other guys, that can be, intimidating because you're with 23-year-old. Some guys are close to 24 years old at the end of their college career, and you're coming in at 18 and you're just getting started. And then we had 7 others report a couple Sundays ago, and they're working out with our team, and then the rest of them will all be in on July 10th working out with the team. So that really helps to get them in working out before we actually practice. But to handle it, we really look them in the eye and tell them how we feel. Hey, here's where we see you. Here's what you need to do to get better. And I think some of that process takes care of itself. Mm-hmm. I talk to guys about this. I'm really blunt. Hey, just keep quiet and work hard, and these upperclassmen are going to respect you.
Yeah.
I don't really like that line about, hey, somebody isn't respecting me, because that's earned. Mm-hmm. I don't expect these new players to respect me or any old players to respect me. I got to earn it.
Yeah.
From, the title. Sometimes the title doesn't matter. Go and earn the respect and work hard and be true to yourself, and what you say you got to do. But people are watching. They're going to watch what you do more than listen to what you say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, go out there and earn it. Be humble and keep your head down. I'm sure it's challenging for some, like you said, some of these athletes are the best at their high school, I'm sure. And then they enter this workout facility with these 23-year-olds that have been working out every day now for years. And I'm sure it's humbling for them. What's the success rate of these players entering? If you enter 28, I don't know if there's a statistic that you would hold to.
It's a little different. I've been coaching a long time. We used to always get concerned, hey, fall camp, who's not going to make it through fall camp? But now with the guys coming in early in the summertime, we just don't lose guys.
Really?
We don't lose guys during fall camp. They come in and they work hard lifting weights, and they don't have that anxiety when fall camp starts about, all these new guys, I don't know what I'm doing because the offense, defense, and all this learning.
Yeah.
So you can start teaching that during the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be some guys throughout their career that, hey, they want a different opportunity. And that, like the transfer portal is a big deal right now.
Yeah.
Transferring has been going on forever. It's just very open and public now.
Oh, okay.
But there's going to be some guys, that come here and they probably don't develop like we thought they were going to, and they get passed up on the depth chart. And I'm fine if they want to look for a new opportunity.
Okay.
Some guys want to do it too early nowadays, so we really talk to those guys about, you haven't given it the proper chance yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's other guys that they've just maybe lost the love for the game. Thought they loved it, because you got to love football to play Division I football.
Okay.
Because of all the sacrifices you make and all the time invested. Yeah. And they probably lose it. But it isn't a high percentage. A lot of our guys stick with our program. I don't feel like we have a retention issue here in our program, but there's going to be some.
Yeah.
We have some great guys. I helped 2 young men in our program. They've been here 3 years.
Yeah.
They have 2 years of eligibility left, and they walked on, and we thought they'd maybe develop into a scholarship guy, and it didn't happen. And they have moved on. I think we found great places for them to play. I respect the coaches, where they're going, and they'll have a great experience, and that's what we want for everybody.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I think any of the young players, it's just like, come in, work, do your job, keep your head down. Your results are they're gonna shine on the field. I'm sure at some point, whether they're redshirting or if they're waiting. They're, like you said, when they put helmets on and you're out there viewing the field, you're viewing them not as people. You know what I mean? It's the results and what the techniques and cool. I got a question for you, and this was just kind of one that I asked someone else too. I had a question for you, but you're in a game, and I think it results to leadership but you're in a game, you're getting blown out, right? What do you tell them at halftime? If the first half just, you went in like, hey, we can position ourselves really well. I don't know if you play for every quarter, but if you're in a halftime, you got to talk to the guys, you got to prep them. What are you saying? What's a go-to, or how do you regain focus with the team? Yeah,
and that's always the difficult part, whether you're ahead or behind at halftime. How do you gauge that with your team? And, we really want to stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. And what is it? To go back out there and play to the best of your ability and keep the scoreboard out of it. Gosh, we talk to our guys. I talk to the recruits this way, is we want to look at 2020 guys. What does that mean? When we watch you play, we shouldn't see a difference. When you love this game, whether you're 20 ahead or 20 behind, you should be playing at a high level with great effort and great focus, because that's really what it's about, effort and focus.
Yeah.
So at halftime, let's say we're down,
20. I don't know what.
You're never going to have a great comeback.
Okay.
If you don't ever believe you can do it. If you go back to the Super Bowl, that Tom Brady came back when they beat the Falcons. It never entered his mind, and he's great at mindset. When you watch certain guys that have done it for so long, it never enters his mind that he couldn't win that game, but he also knew that they had to do it one play at a time, one drive at a time. So we always talk about after halftime, hey, the first score is really important after this halftime break, whether we're ahead or behind, because everything has settled down now and you're really starting over.
Right.
So that's how we approach it at halftime a lot. If we've been playing very well, we try to get our guys emotionally under control. And you should be excited if you're playing well, but you got to have the right anxiety level or you aren't focused.
Right.
And that's the way you got to approach it. If you're down, you know, I shared with a high school coach one time. He said, you know, I coach at this one town, and it was really difficult because the kids would get so down because they hadn't had much success. So how do you ever get them to have a comeback win? It's because they couldn't focus on their job. They were focusing on the scoreboard. You can't play well if you're focusing on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's the wrong thing because that's a result that isn't always in your control. But your job is in your control.
Gotcha.
You can focus on your energy and your effort all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you really want to talk to guys. You know, I always use the example, Zach Johnson. I never forget it.
Yeah.
When he won the Masters, he said, for some reason, that day he did a great job of staying in the moment. Because you know who was creating roars on the course at Augusta was Tiger Woods. And he goes, I heard the roars, but they didn't affect me. I could just stay in the moment. And from that day forward, I talked to our guys about staying in the moment. You know, golf and football, a little different. But there's some similarities. Sometimes in the Alerus Center, there's a huge roar. Huge roar. And you can feel the energy and you got to feed off it. Or when we aren't doing well, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And you gotta get through that and stay in the moment and create some excitement and get that roar back so it helps us.
Right. Yeah. That's it comes back to the mindset you want to put yourself in, and whether it really dictates the result that you're going to get. I mean, the results up in the air, I'm sure, are just something that you pay a little attention to. Obviously, it changes your strategy depending upon what you're doing, but keep in the moment. I love that, actually. And because my next question was, you're going into a team, maybe they're the bottom of the conference or something. The team's all, walk through. It'll be fine. I know as a coach you don't feel that way, but what do you do to approach those games where it's just going to be a walkthrough, or just a poor team?
Most difficult games to coach. I really believe that.
Really?
And I like Coach Saban down at Alabama. I think he does an excellent job at having his team playing at a high level, no matter who the opponent is. And it's really, those are challenging, though, because of, once again, all the outside noise. Mom and dad know that we're the better team. The media knows that we're the better team. Everybody's telling our guys that they're going to win the game. And it is not automatic, because that team has pride too. And that team plays with great energy and great focus. And those are sometimes the most difficult games to coach, to prepare for, because whenever you're comfortable, you are not doing a great job. We talk to our guys about that. We cannot be comfortable. There's got to be a sense of purpose, and there should be anxiety. Hey, I want to play well, no matter who the opponent is. But it happens. It happens in sports. And, I think in football, we talk about, hey, you have really 11 or 12 opportunities guaranteed to you. How are we going to earn the 13th game? Well, you better play well every week. Because one of those games that you're supposedly supposed to win and you don't play well, that can really hurt your chances of earning that playoff spot.
Yeah.
So we don't really approach any game that this is a game we should win. We approach every game like it's a playoff game. We need to win these games, because in FCS football, you need to build a resume. You really want to win your conference, because then you're the automatic bid into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you got to build a resume so you get selected by a committee.
Oh, I like that. Well, let's talk about the 2023 fall season's approaching. Where's the group at? Where do you think we're going this year? Because hopefully we're talking about that 13th game too, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
you want to get in the tournament, and I get excited thinking about it, and I get excited thinking about our team. I love our team up to this point. I really felt we came back from the Christmas break in 2023 and had a really good focus and a sense of purpose.
Good.
Our winter workouts went well. I felt like we made progress in spring ball. We added some depth to our team.
Yeah.
Whenever you have transfers, those guys have done a really good job of fitting in, working hard, and I think our team did a good job of teaching them how we do things here at the University of North Dakota. So a lot of working parts there. We got through spring ball. I felt like our summer workouts have gone well. We, do some intermittent testing, and our guys are getting stronger, getting faster, jumping higher. We just finished our first session of summer training, and then our guys get about 12 days off, and then we start our second session. We'll have a bunch of new guys in, and to be around the guys is really important. We really try to create all kinds of opportunities for our guys to be around, because if you're around each other, you learn how to care for each other and love each other, and those things matter when you're building a team.
Oh yeah.
When you have over 100 guys on a team, those things really matter. You've got to spend time together. It's no different than families eating together. I mean, some of our best learning moments are when you sit down and when you're growing up, eating as a family. I know I was from a big family, and we've gotten away from that a little bit in this day and age because we're so busy. We don't do it as much. And I think families are smaller. We don't have as large of families. And so I think we really need to create that within our team, that these things are important. And we call it Gap Soldiers in the spring of the year. We have our guys come back. We pick 8 captains, the coaches do, and they draft teams. And then these teams compete against each other for volunteer hours in the community.
Oh, cool.
Get positive points for supporting other teams on campus. We do have negative points, so it teaches leadership and accountability, and it's really helped. Travis Steps runs that part of our program for us. He gets really creative. One Saturday morning we're going to have yard game competition. Another Saturday morning we had NBA competition, 3-point shooting and free throw shooting.
Oh, geez.
And really been a lot of fun and great for our teams. And they compete. And they get competitive for the volunteer stuff. We want to give so much back to Grand Forks and the surrounding communities because we know we get a lot from the community. And we want to pack the Alerus Center. And we talk to our guys about that. Go out and do good in the community. Right. That's how we get, people really want to root for guys that are doing great things. Yeah. And our guys have bought into it, and they're doing a great job of that.
Well, in business, I would reflect that too. It's like culture, it's like we're, even within my company, we have about 50 people, but it's like you're trying to just build this culture of people and being like, I like how you always put it, being interested in them instead of just everyone wanting to go away from that with technology entering the space. No one needs to talk to each other anymore. And you're building a culture, and then it bleeds out in the community. These guys buy in. Then they're out in the community doing their thing, and you're going to get more people at the football games because they're going to buy into these athletes that are doing great things.
Yeah, no question. Just, go be a part of Special Olympics. What a great group of athletes that you can have a positive effect on in the community. And I'm always talking to, we talk to our guys about leadership, and I've tried to, summertime is my time to do some extra reading, and because it slows down a bit, and I try to read as much as I can and just really study leadership and observe leaders. And the one thing that is just kind of knocks me in the forehead all the time is I love leadership more than management, because there's a difference. Management is, I said I was an accounting major. Well, I don't really do backflips over budgeting and things like that. That's not my favorite thing to do. I know it's a necessary part of the job. Yep. But I love the leadership, because leadership's touching the hearts of people and figuring out what makes them tick. Yeah. And teaching them, to care for one another. And this is important, and there's times that you just to have moments that you can really be a great leader. We have unfortunate incidents that happen when we have over 100 guys, but I talk to our guys about, hey, if somebody loses a relative, this might be the first time they've experienced that in their life. We need to be there for them. Yeah. And this is important. And if you're uncomfortable doing it, it doesn't matter, because if you show them you care and say, hey, I'm thinking about you, that's all it takes for somebody to know that you really care about them. And that person is going to be all in at doing it for the next person when they see that they have had a hardship in their family. And we really talk about that a lot. And simple little things make somebody else's job easier.
Yeah.
Our locker room after games at the Alerus, I tell the guys all the time, hey, win or lose, we are picking up this locker room, because I want that person that is in charge of cleaning up this locker room and come in and say, I'm going home earlier now because somebody else didn't leave a mess. And you know what? We do it on the road too.
Oh, cool.
We do it on the road. Nobody cleans up after us. And our assistant coaches are walking across campus some days, and we're picking up cups because it's our home.
Yeah.
We want it looking really good. Yeah. And if we're doing it, I think the players will just follow and really do a good job of that too.
Yeah. It shows who you are. It shows, you're in every aspect of your life. You can't just be really good at work and then suck at home. It's like you got, you know what I mean? Like you want to be where you are, who you are at home is really who you are in the world. And it's when people aren't looking, and I love that. That's a good piece. Well, what's with let's talk offense and defense for this year. What's some of the focuses that you want to make sure that you hit on the offense?
Yeah, we always want to score more points, but to do that, we just feel like we got to be more explosive. Okay. And Danny Freund does a great job running our offense, and we have a lot of fun playing offense. I think our guys really get into it, but our offensive staff, we know we want to. You always say you go into the game, you want to be balanced, run and pass, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. We really want to take advantage of what the defense has given us. Yeah. So some days you might have to throw it more because they're loading up to stop the run. Some days they're going to stop the pass. You got to run it more, and you got to get a feel for that throughout the game. And but we're excited. Tommy Schuster's back for another year, and we felt like he took a good step last year and took his play to another level. We have added some depth on the offensive line. Okay. That group is always important, but we feel good about those guys. And Joe Pavlik has created a lot of pride in that room, and those guys take so much pride in their work. And we keep building depth, and we're excited to get the young guys in here to learn from the older guys. Oh yeah, yeah. Because that group has to gel as a unit to play well, and then we have our tight ends and fullbacks, and we have some new guys that are going to get some opportunities. Adam Zavolny has moved on with his playing career, and he caught a lot of balls for us. So we have some young guys that are seeing some opportunity to catch balls. We moved Quincy Vaughn from quarterback to tight end. Oh, wow. So he sees an opportunity to play more snaps, and so a lot of exciting things. Receiving core, Bo Balquist is back. Okay. And he's caught a lot of balls for us, made a lot of big plays, but we feel guys like Jack Wright and Nate DeMontignac and guys like that are just really coming on and getting better. Garrett Mogg graduating. He has an opportunity with the Minnesota Vikings, which is awesome. Oh, cool. Tyler Huseman has moved on, and he has a chance with the Chargers. They'll be in their camp when it starts here in July. And that's starting soon. Yeah, so we guys, cool. Those things are exciting for our program. Yeah. But offensively, really excited about the group we have coming back, and they're working hard, and now we got to have a good fall camp and get ready for that home opener. Yeah, let's go. So Schuster's going to be throwing the ball a lot down the field. Yeah. We got to throw it down the field. We got to throw it sideline to sideline. We got to run the ball. You got to make defenses defend the entire field. That really makes it difficult on defense.
Let's go. All right. Well, I got a few questions as we wrap up here.
Okay.
I'm excited about this season, though. I got to pay my best attention now that I know some of these players. I'm buying in more because now I'm talking to more of the players. So it's like it's fun for me too. So I could see why. Hopefully, the rest of the community that's listening to this. I mean, it's great stories, and they're making an impact. And we're going to beat the Bison too.
We got to do that.
Yeah, we got to do that.
And they've done a very good job.
They play their best ball when they come up here.
We got to do that.
Or we go down there.
Get them up here again.
Yeah.
Exciting day, but we have so many more games before then. But yeah, that's one thing. That's a challenge for our program. But we got to beat teams like South Dakota State and North Dakota State. If we want to get where we want to be, we're going to eventually have to do that.
Oh, we're doing it. What's one of your biggest fears?
I don't know if I deal with fear a whole lot. Concerns. I have concerns. Always have concerns about the health of our team. I think the health plays a big part in seasons, no matter who you are, no matter what level.
Yeah.
And I always feel like it's my job to keep our team healthy. Whether it's the workouts, I got to oversee that. Now, Coach Bockel, our strength coach, he's going to design them. But I got to find that right balance so our guys are really well prepared physically for games, mentally for games. How much contact and live action do you do in fall camp?
Okay.
Getting your team ready and just taking care of them throughout the year, both physically and mentally, because mental health is important too.
So important. Like I said, I think all these athletes are physically capable of doing whatever. It's the mental game of I'm having an off day, like you were mentioning, and not every day is going to be good. I promise you. When you wake up one day, even in entrepreneurship, it's difficult. There's days you don't I'm going to quit. It's like you can fail plenty of times, just never quit on yourself. So that's why I usually tell younger entrepreneurs. What's one of your biggest regrets?
Back when I was a younger coach, I should have dug into learning offensive football earlier. I think that would make me better right now. But I just was so into the defense. And so, that was my background, and I was so into it and probably didn't pay enough attention to that. And then, I think looking back, I have some regrets about that life balance. I didn't get married till I was 36 years old.
Okay.
And that was fine.
Yeah.
That was fine, but I was an older dad, and that's all fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
But just when my kids were younger, probably finding a better balance at times, doing a better job of that. But there's no do-overs, Mark. There's no do-overs. But if you really press me on it, I think that would be one. And, I try to talk to our coaches about that now and saying, hey, find the right balance. Yet some days I might ask you to be here, and we got to figure it out how to make it work too, but we got to be smart about it too.
Yeah. Well, we'll get that offense dialed in. Don't worry. You'll be a master of it.
Well, that's why you hire guys like Danny Freund. He runs the offense.
Right. Yeah.
That's why.
Hire for your weaknesses. You got to hire really good people.
There you go.
Yeah.
And even on defense, we got really good people too.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like I have more knowledge there and can have more input on that side.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, that's a great way to put it. One last question. What does unfollow the herd mean to you? Unfollow the herd.
I've never paid attention to that phrase. Is that on social media somewhere?
No, I made it up just now for you.
Unfollow the herd.
What would that mean to you if you just had that as a theme?
Okay, that would mean this to me. It'd be do your own thing, stay true to yourself. If you believe in what you're doing, you got to feel confident and not worried about the critics. That's what it would mean to me.
Yeah. Don't follow what everyone else wants for you. 'Cause, yeah, if you did everything the media told you, they'd be satisfied, but you probably wouldn't have the best results, is my guess.
Yeah, it'd be really hard to be happy.
Yeah.
Because you just can't satisfy everybody.
Right.
You just can't. You gotta, my number one job is to take care of the team to the best of my ability, and I got to stay true to that.
Yeah. Well, if you try to be the person that everyone else wants you to be, or their version of you, it's like you're not being yourself. You're not doing the way. Well, we hired you to be a football coach and to lead charge. We should probably put in the intro of this his gritty dance coming into that. That was, I think I watched that like 10 times. Like, dang, I think he pulled that off. You practice that?
I have improved, but it's still not where it needs to be. I have to say I have improved. I even, one time, it was a year ago, one of the guys up front in the locker room said, "Coach, you're getting better." I go, "That's good," because we had a lot of room to improve, but we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
It came about. It was the spring season. Danny Freund, we won the first game in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. He comes out of the coach's box. We're going across the turf. He says, "Coach, you got to do the gritty." I go, "What's the gritty?" He said, "I'm going to teach you in the hallway before you go in. You just got to do it." So I said, "Okay, I'm going to do it." It was not what we're looking for, but we're having a lot of fun with it. You got to have fun.
That's what I love about you.
Fun.
You have fun.
Oh yeah, you got to have fun.
Yeah.
It's too hard not to have fun.
No, yeah, we have fun. I appreciate you having you on, Bubba. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed with Bubba and we talked about leadership. I think there's some key points that anyone can take away. So make sure you go back and review and make sure you're watching the 23 football team go and destroy some stuff.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Bubba.